The truth. You're wasting your life. Watch this. Welcome to Dr. Eric T. Motivation Corner. Let me hit you with it immediately. You are wasting your life. Not slowly, not accidentally, daily. And deep down, you know it. You feel it at night, when the room is quiet, when the phone is finally down, when the distractions fade. That small voice says, you could be doing more. And you ignore it. Because truth is uncomfortable. That let's get specific. You wake up tired, not because you worked hard, but because you stayed up scrolling. You say you're stressed, but you haven't built anything worth being stressed about. You say you're overwhelmed, but your day was filled with entertainment. Be honest. How much of your day moves you forward? 1 hour, 30 minutes, or just thoughts about what you should do? Here's the truth. You don't have a time problem. You have a discipline problem. You don't have a resource problem. You have a focus problem. You don't have bad luck. You have bad habits. Micro story. You open your phone to check one message. 40 minutes later, you're watching strangers argue online. You laugh. You scroll. You consume, but you don't create. Then you say, I don't have time. That's not lack of time. That's lack of control. Let's slow down. This is not an attack. This is exposure, because nothing changes until you face it. You're living below your potential, way below, and you've normalized it. That's the scary part. You celebrate small effort. You call it trying. You reward yourself before you've earned anything. You start something. 3 days later, you lose intensity. A week later, you're distracted. A month later, you've quit. Then you say, maybe it wasn't for me. No, maybe you weren't consistent. You say you want more money, but you don't want more discipline. You say you want respect, but you don't respect your own commitments. You say you want success, but you avoid sacrifice. That's not ambition, that's fantasy. Calm moment. Think about this, that if someone recorded your last 7 days, would it look like the life of someone who's serious or someone who's comfortable? Because results don't lie. Patterns don't lie. Your calendar tells the truth. That you're not confused, that you're distracted, that you're not unlucky, that you're inconsistent, that you're not incapable, that you're comfortable. And comfort is expensive. IT feels good today, but it costs you years. Micro story. You had an idea last year, that a real one, that you were excited. You talked about it. You even told friends, but you didn't execute. Now someone else is doing something similar, and you feel that sting. That quiet regret. That's not jealousy, that's self-awareness. You know you could have acted, but you didn't. The truth, you are wasting time. Like you have unlimited supply. You don't. Every hour you scroll, someone else is building. Every day you delay, someone else is improving. Every excuse you make, someone else is executing, and the gap is growing. Let me ask you something, that if nothing changes, if you stay exactly how you are, where will you be in 5 years? Same habits, same routine, same distractions. That's not dramatic, that's predictable. Because the future is built from repetition, and you are repeating weakness. You keep saying, I'll start when I feel ready. Ready is a myth. Nobody feels ready. They just start. Messy, imperfect, uncertain, but they move. You wait. You plan, you analyze, you hesitate, and life keeps moving without you. That you're entertained, but not educated, stimulated, but not strengthened, connected, but not disciplined. That's why you feel busy, but not productive. But let's turn it up. You say you're tired, but you're not exhausted from effort. That you're drained from distraction. You spend energy on things that don't pay you back. Drama, scrolling, comparison, complaining. That's mental leakage, and it's killing your growth. Nobody forced you to waste a day. You chose it. Nobody made you procrastinate. You allowed it. Nobody stole your focus. You gave it away. That's the truth. And here's the part you won't like, that it's easier to blame the world. Easier to blame your job. Easier to blame your background. Because if it's your fault, then you have to change. And change requires effort. Micro story. You said you'd wake up early. Alarm rings, you negotiate. 5 more minutes. That negotiation is the problem. You negotiate with discipline daily, and every time you have a negotiation, you lose progress. You don't lack talent. You lack urgency. You act like there's always tomorrow. There isn't. Opportunity's close. Energy fades. Time moves. Whether you move or not. Come again. This isn't about guilt. It's about clarity. Clarity creates power. When you see the pattern, you can break it. But if you keep pretending, you'll repeat it that you're not a victim of life, that you're a product of your habits that should empower you. Because habits can change, but only if you stop lying to yourself. Say it quietly, I am wasting time. Say it without excuses, without blaming, without softening it. Just own it. Because ownership is step one that you don't need a new year. You don't need a new plan. You need a new standard, a standard that says, I don't waste mornings. I don't scroll aimlessly. I don't break promises to myself. That's how identity shifts. Let me ask you something personal. When was the last time you were truly disciplined for 30 straight days? No quitting and restarting and emotional breaks. If you can't remember, that's the issue. The truth is not that you can't succeed. The truth is you haven't committed long enough. You stop too soon. You get bored too quickly. You want fast proof. And growth doesn't give fast proof, that IT gives slow evidence. Build daily. You don't need more motivation. You need repetition. You need consistency so strong that even when you don't feel inspired, you move. Because winners don't rely on feelings. They rely on systems. Right now, you are drifting, not failing, drifting, and drifting feels harmless. Until 5 years pass, and you realize you never chose a direction. This is your interruption, your pattern break, your mirror moment. You are wasting your life, but you don't have to continue. That's the good news. Let's go deeper. You don't ruin your life in one dramatic moment. You ruin it in normal days, regular Tuesdays, random Wednesdays, quiet Sundays, that where the damage happens. Not in chaos, that I in comfort. You wake up, first thing you touch, your phone, before your mind is clear, before your goals are in front of you, before you even stand up, you invite the world into your brain. Notifications, messages, drama, news, other people's lives. Now your focus is scattered, and your day hasn't even started. You think that's harmless. It's not. You just gave away your mental power. Micro story. You plan to work on your goals this morning, but you check something, first .1 video turns into 5, that now it's 9 a.m. You feel slightly guilty as you rush. You start late. Energy feels off. Now the whole day feels behind, and you blame bad mornings. It wasn't a bad morning, that IT was a weak choice, that let's slow it down. You don't lack time. You lack structure. Your days have no guardrails and boundaries and defined start and defined focus block. Just vibes. And vibes don't build futures. Look at your schedule. Is it intentional or reactive? Do you decide what gets your time? Or does whatever pops up control you? Because if you don't control your time, everything else will. You say you're busy. Busy doing what? Answer honestly. Scrolling, talking, watching, planning. Without executing, busy is often just disguised distraction. Productive feels different. Productive feels focused, clear, deliberate. You rarely feel that. That's why you're frustrated. Here's the real problem. Your routine rewards comfort. Wake up late. Rush, low effort. Quick dopamine, low resistance. Repeat. You trained your brain to avoid friction, and success is friction. Calm moment. Think about the last 30 days. What did you build? What did you improve? What did you finish? If the answer is vague, that's your warning sign. Micro story. You start the week strong. Monday hits it or motivated. You work hard. Tuesday, still solid. Wednesday, energy dips. Thursday, you need a break. Friday, you're checked out. Weekend, reset, repeat cycle. That's not commitment. That's emotional momentum. And emotional momentum dies quickly. You don't need motivation. You need rhythm, a rhythm that doesn't care about your mood, a rhythm that moves whether you feel inspired or not. Right now, your mood controls your effort, and moods change hourly. That's unstable. Let me hit you harder. You waste more time recovering from distraction than you spend doing focused work. Think about that. You scroll for 45 minutes, then it takes 20 minutes to refocus. Then you feel mentally tired. So you avoid deep work. Now the day is half gone. Not because you worked hard, but because you fragmented your attention. Your mind is tired because it's overstimulated. Constant noise, constant input, constant comparison, but almost no output. Deep focus. Long-term grind. Mental endurance training. That's why discipline feels painful. You haven't trained it. You think you need more hours. You need fewer distractions. You think you need more opportunity. You need more focus. You think you need better luck. You need better standards. Let's talk about evenings. You say you're too tired to work on your goals at night, but somehow you're not too tired to binge shows, not too tired to scroll, not too tired to game to it's not exhaustion, it's preference. To be honest. Micro story. You tell yourself, I deserve this break. After what? A half-focused day? Minimal progress? You reward yourself before earning anything. Then wonder why you're not growing. Your life is being built in your routine, not in your dreams, not in your intentions. In your routine. And your routine right now is casual, loose, undisciplined. That's why your results are casual, loose, undisciplined. Calm down. Let this land. You don't need to change everything overnight, but you do need to stop lying to yourself. You are not trying your best. If you were, your routine would look different. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You build your life in blocks of focused effort, not in random bursts, not in emotional sprints. Blocks, deep, undistracted, intentional. But you rarely stay focused longer than 20 minutes because you trained your brain to crave interruption. Let me challenge you. When was the last time you worked for 2 full hours with 0 distractions? Phone off, notifications off, locked in. If you can't remember, that's the issue. You're not. Behind it, you're unfocused, and unfocused people feel overwhelmed because everything feels urgent, everything feels noisy, everything feels heavy. But focused people simplify. They choose, they execute, they move. Micro story. You have 5 tasks. Instead of finishing one fully, you start all 5. Half done, half focused, half committed. Now your brain feels cluttered, you feel stressed. You escape. That's the cycle. And you keep repeating it. You are not incapable. You are scattered, and scattered energy builds. Scattered results. Let's turn the pressure up. If someone paid you $1,000 for every hour of deep work, would you still scroll? Would you still procrastinate? Or would you lock in? So the problem isn't ability, it's urgency. You don't feel the cost of wasted time, but there's a cost that IT just shows up later. Time wasted today becomes regret tomorrow. Time wasted this year becomes limitation next year. Time wasted in your 20s becomes pressure in your 30s. You're borrowing comfort now and paying stress later. Calm. This is not about being extreme. It's about being intentional. Design your day. Don't drift through it. Wake up with a plan. Execute with focus. Shut down with purpose. That's how structure feels. Right now you drift. You open your day without direction. You close your day without accomplishment. And you wonder why you feel stuck? Drifting feels harmless until you realize years passed. You don't need more inspiration. You need fewer distractions. Delete apps, silence notifications, create friction for bad habits. Make it harder to be weak. Make it easier to be strong. Let me ask you something serious. If you repeated your current daily routine for the next 5 years, would you be proud or disappointed? Because that's the direction you're heading. Not based on dreams, based on repetition. You want extraordinary results with ordinary effort. That's the conflict. You want confidence without discomfort. You want success without sacrifice. That's not how it works. Micro story. Your friend works late on there. Goals. You say, you're doing too much. But deep down, you know they're serious. And you're not so you joke. You downplay. You normalize laziness. Because if they're right, you have to change. Your routine reveals your priorities, not your words, not your posts, not your talk. Your routine that if your goals aren't scheduled, they aren't real. Come again. This is fixable, but only if you accept it. You are wasting your life in small, quiet ways through unstructured days, through reactive habits, through low standards, through constant distraction, but that's the truth. But here's the shift that if small habits destroy you, small habits can rebuild you. Wake up 30 minutes earlier, protect one focus block, train daily, read daily, build daily, small, consistent. Relentless. You don't need a dramatic transformation. You need disciplined repetition, because repetition builds identity, and identity builds results. Right now, your identity is inconsistent but capable. That's dangerous, because it comforts you. Change it to discipline no matter what. Improve it daily. The truth is simple. You are wasting your life, but you don't have to continue. Your routine is destroying your potential, but you can redesign it starting today, not next month, today. Hashtag part 3, hashtag, and no more excuses. This is where you made it here. Good. Now we remove every escape route, because right now you still have one that you're listening to, you're fired up, but you're still thinking, yeah, but my situation is different. No, it's not. Your distractions look different. Your excuses sound different. But the pattern, it's the same. Avoid discomfort. Delay action. Blame something. Repeat. That's the cycle. And today we break it. Hashtag, excuse number 1. I don't have time. Let's kill it. You have 24 hours. Same as everyone winning. The difference? Allocation. You say you don't have time to work out, but you have time to scroll. You say you don't have time to learn, but you have time for drama. You say you don't have time to build, but you have. Time to complain, to be honest. It's not lack of time, that it's lack of priority. If it mattered enough, you would schedule it. You schedule what matters. Everything else is filler. Micro story. You check your screen time 0.5 hours, 0.5. That's 35 hours a week. That's almost a full-time job. You are working a full-time job for distraction. And wondering why your real life isn't improving, but that's not a time issue. That's a discipline issue. Hashtag, excuse number 2. I'm not motivated. Motivation is temporary. Standards are permanent. You don't brush your teeth because you're motivated. You do it because it's non-negotiable. That's how your goals should feel. Non-negotiable. You trained yourself to move only when inspired. That's emotional dependency. And emotional dependency creates inconsistency. Winners don't wake up motivated every day. They wake up committed. Hashtag, excuse number 3. I'm just tired. You're not tired from effort, that you're tired from chaos. Constant notifications, constant stimulation, constant switching. You drain your brain with shallow activity. Then when it's time for deep work, you feel exhausted. That's not physical fatigue. That's lack of mental discipline. Train your focus, and your energy will follow. Calm moment. That let's get real, that if someone offered you $10,000 to wake up at 5 a.m. for 30 days, would you do it? Yes, so you're capable. You just don't feel the urgency. You don't feel the cost. But the cost is real, it's just delayed. Hashtag excuse number 4. I'll start when things calm down. Things will never calm down there. Will always be noise, always be stress, always be responsibilities. You don't wait for calm. You build discipline inside chaos. If you need perfect conditions to act, you'll never act. Micro story. You wait for the right week. The week with no stress and no pressure and no distractions. That week never comes. S on months pass. Nothing changes because you're waiting for fantasy. Hashtag, here's the hard thing, you are not stuck. You are choosing comfort over growth, daily, quietly, repeatedly. And comfort feels harmless until years pass. Then it feels heavy. Regret is heavy. Missed potential is heavy. Watching others surpass you is heavy. And you built that weight slowly. Let's raise the standard. From this point forward, you don't negotiate. With weakness, alarm rings. You move. Workout scheduled. You show up. Focus block planned. Phone off. In emotional debate. In mental drama. Just action. That's maturity. Right now, your biggest enemy isn't lack of opportunity, that it's internal negotiation. You argue with discipline. You justify procrastination. You rationalize delay. And every time you win that argument, you lose momentum. Stop debating. Decide once. Execute daily. Hashtag identity. Yes, if you don't need new goals. You need a new identity. Right now, you see yourself as someone who's trying, upgraded. I am someone who executes. I am someone who finishes. I am someone who keeps promises to myself and then prove it every day. Small wins stacked. Micro story. You say you'll go to the gym. You go once. You skip twice. You restart next month. That breaks self-trust. Now you doubt yourself. Not because you're incapable, but because you trained yourself to quit. Rebuild self-trust. Keep small promises. Daily and no matter what. Hashtag discipline builds. If you think confidence comes first, IT doesn't. Discipline comes first, then confidence follows. When you wake up early for 30 days, confidence grows. When you complete tasks daily, confidence grows. When you resist distraction, confidence grows. Because now you trust yourself, and self-trust is power. Let's flip the perspective. Imagine 2 versions of you. Version 1 keeps delaying, keeps scrolling, keeps restarting. Version 2 executes daily, builds quietly, ignores noise. Which version feels lighter? Which version sleeps better? Which version walks taller? The difference isn't talent, that it's discipline. Hashtag remove escape. RVS delete what distracts you. Silence what tempts you. Distance from what weakens you. If your environment makes it easy to be lazy, you will struggle. Make laziness inconvenient. Make discipline automatic. You say your friends don't support you. Good, that's training. You say nobody believes in you. Good. That builds independence. You say it's hard. Good. That means growth is happening. Stop looking for easy. Easy creates average. Hard creates transformation. Calm again. Let this settle. You're not a victim of your past. You are a product of your present choices. Change your present, and your future shifts. But if you keep repeating today, you repeat your future. Hashtag the decision. This is it. You either continue wasting time, or you take control. Not dramatically, not emotionally, but decisively. You choose structure. You choose focus. You choose discipline. You choose discomfort. Because you finally understand the cost of staying the same. Nobody is coming to fix this. Nobody is going to push you every morning. Nobody will. Rescue your potential. It's on you completely. And that's not pressure, that's power. Because if it's on you, you can change it starting now. Hashtag final challenge F for the next 30 days. No excuses. Wake up on time. Train your body. Train your mind. Protect your focus. Execute daily. Emotional breaks. Restarting. Negotiation. Just discipline 30 days. That's it. That if you can't control 30 days, you can't control your life. The truth is simple. You are wasting your life, but only if you keep choosing to. Right. Now, you decide. Stay comfortable, or build something powerful. The clock is moving either way. What are you going to do with it?